respected by the MMA community all over the world.
Come on.
And now Sean wants to throw it down.
There we go. I thought we were going to get a lot more of this.
I said in the middle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mixed Martial Arts post-fight show for Sean Strickland versus Jack Hermansson. And we're being joined by the Judo superhero as well. So we're going to break down this fight. Sean Strickland defeated Jack Hermansson by split decision. He was saying in the post-fight interview that he should have stayed in the pocket for longer and maybe made the fight a little bit more exciting. But I thought that this was a really good fight. And Sean Strickland getting by Jack Hermansson is very impressive. Jack Hermansson is definitely not an easy guy to get by. And Sean Strickland left the octagon looking pretty much the same as he entered it. He was hardly breathing hard, barely had a mark on his face, and he looked really good. That could be attributed to his incredible striking defense. He looked so good in the octagon tonight, and I thought it was a great fight. But do you think that Sean Strickland has done enough to earn a title shot?
I think we really have to see what happens with Brunson versus Cannonier, because it was a great performance by Strickland, super technical, but not the most impressive win possible. He didn't get a finish. He didn't dominate him that much. So I really think it depends on what happens next week at 271.
And I guess it will also depend on who wins the main event of 271, because who the champion is will definitely have a big impact on that. But it was pretty surprising that this fight was a split decision. I think we both agree it was very clear that Sean Strickland did enough to win that fight. But, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty clear win. Don't see how Saldamato scored it for Hermansson.
But Sean Strickland's striking looked incredible. Yeah, he, like he said in the post-fight interview, he wasn't extremely active on the feet, but he was barely getting touched. And he looked so comfortable in the octagon, and his defense is incredible. So that was an excellent performance by Sean Strickland, and he's definitely in the title picture.
Yeah.
And in the co-main event, Nick Maximov picked up a win over Soriano, which was impressive. And we also had a really interesting welterweight contender. Shavkat Rakhmonov defeated Carlston Harris by first-round KO with a hooking kick. What did you think of that performance?
That was a great performance from Rakhmonov. He looks like a serious prospect in the welterweight division. I can see him going deep into the rankings and possibly a future matchup with Khamzat. Both undefeated fighters, both all finishes. Very impressive.
Yeah. Khamzat Chimaev versus Rakhmonov would be a really interesting fight. And Rakhmonov looks like he might be a better striker than Khamzat. Maybe some more diverse strikes than Khamzat. So I agree. That would be a really cool fight. And I hope that happens down the line.
I'm very excited to see him fight a possibly ranked opponent next.
I agree with that. And another really interesting fight on the main card was Tresean Gore versus Bryan battle. This was basically to conclude the Ultimate Fighter season, because Tresean Gore had to pull out of the finale due to an injury. But in this fight, he got his opportunity to look for redemption. But Bryan battle, the defending Ultimate Fighter champion, ended up winning. He was very active on the feet. He almost had a Nick Diaz approach in this fight, I thought. He had a lot of pressure on Tresean Gore, and Tresean Gore wasn't actually all that active on the feet. What did you make of the performance from both of those guys?
Yeah, Tresean Gore, he looks like he has a lot of potential, but he just really didn't throw a lot in this fight. Kind of disappointed from his performance, but a good fight nonetheless, and very impressive win from Bryan battle.
Yeah, Bryan battle looked like he has a lot of potential. And I'm curious to see who he's going to get next and how he's going to look. Tresean Gore definitely could have been more active in that fight. I agree. But he's only 4-0, and now he's 4-1. So he has a lot of time to continue developing. But that was an interesting fight and good performance by Bryan battle. But to open up the main card, we had Julian Erosa versus Steven Peterson. And Juicy J just looked... This was just an awesome fight. Juicy J looked really good in the first round. And he fights with his hands down low. So he started getting hit a lot in the second round. And both of these guys were getting rocked tons of times. It was an incredibly bloody fight. This was just a back and forth brawl, and definitely the fight of the night, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, it was, like you said, an all-out brawl. Great fight. And there was that crazy sequence in the second round where Julian Erosa got dropped. He was super hurt. And then he just comes back and throws a spinning back fist that drops Steven Peterson. Just a crazy fight.
Yeah, this was just that was just a show. These guys definitely deserve a bonus for that fight. And this is Julian Erosa's third stint in the UFC. He's already had 2 previous runs. He got cut both times, but now he's on a really great run in the UFC. He definitely deserves to be treated well. And I hope that they keep him around for a long time, because every time Julian Erosa fights, he puts on a show. So really got to give him credit for that, because Julian Erosa got the decision win in that fight, and it was extremely exciting. And then on the prelims, another notable fight was Hakeem Dawodu versus Mike Trizano. This was a great performance by Hakeem Dawodu. He was just controlling the fight on the feet. He got to show his great striking. Mike Trizano landed a couple of good shots on the feet too. But Hakeem Dawodu got the win by unanimous decision, and that was a very good performance by the Canadian. So he has a bright future as well. So what did you think overall of the card?
It was a pretty good card for a fight night. A lot of interesting matchups, some really good fights. Nothing to complain about.
Yeah, it was a really good card, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Thank you for watching this video. And if you want to follow me on Twitter for more frequent mixed martial arts updates, then follow the link in the description to my Twitter page. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.